Good morning from the Kennedy farm. We harvested some frames of honey today. Notice the caps along the comb. You want the honey to be capped. It's not completely full, but it's mostly full. You know, when you got millions of angry bees, you kind of hurry. Like this one here. It is fully capped except for right around the edges. So that honey will be good to harvest. I could not find my regular decapping tool, so I'm just going to use this little cheap take forever thing. But we harvested 5 frames. And I always tell people, don't get greedy, because most beekeepers, they say all natural organic honey. You go to this store, even Walmart has local organic honey. If you were to buy it and taste it and then taste mine, you'd be like, whoa, why is it so different? And that's because of the fact that I don't sugar my bees. I'm not greedy. I don't harvest twice a year and take every bit of honey and then replace with sugar. I very, very, very rarely feed them sugar. When I feed sugar is if it's right before winter and they don't have enough stores to make it through the winter, is the only time I give them sugar. And I don't like to do it then because I want them to be all natural. Which is why out of 8 hives, 1 hive having 2 supers and 2 deeps, a really large hive, and probably had 10 to 15 frames full of honey within itself, I took 3 out of it and only took 2 out of another. You want to leave them as much of their own as possible. I'm not doing this to sell large amounts of honey. Now, if I keep getting more and more hives and I end up with 1,000 hives, you could do large amounts because this little bit out of 8 hives will become more. And 4 of those hives were from swarms this year. Or splits, and they're not going to have a lot of honey because they're just now developing their hive. They're going to be doing brood. When I looked at their frames, on the frame of honey, we would see honey across the top and the edges and think, oh boy, honey. But all this would be brood, which is baby bees. And we don't want to interfere with that because they make that honey to supply those bees when they hatch food. Because they can hatch and then get that honey. Now, I've got my extractor, drying. We just got all this washed up. I always wash it when I'm done using it before I put it in storage. And then I wash it after I get it out of storage. This harvester is just a 2-frame manual. It's about as cheap as you can get. Get it down here, and you slide a frame on either deal, and then you turn the handle. And I lost the handle. That's how the harvester works. You uncap the frame, you put it in there, and you go to spinning. And I'll spin it for an hour, not straight, I'll spin it and let it sit there and spin for a couple minutes, and then I'll walk back through and spin it again. And that's how I extract the honey. It's got a spigot here, which sometimes I use it, sometimes I just pour it out of the top. And I double strain it. I've got this kind of strainer, it's just a screen. And then this cheesecloth, or this is a mesh, is a fiber mesh cloth. Just to, filter as many bee legs and bee heads and bee arms as possible out of it. Because it happens. And that's how I filter my honey. I don't do anything else to it. I don't add anything to it. It's straight from the frame of honey, which you can see they're full because it's already leaking out. just from sitting here. And they're sitting upright. But we're going to let this stuff dry, and then we'll get to it. Have a good day.